Hi, this is Kylie Coo. Welcome to my studio. Last video I was using alcohol inks on photo paper. This video I'm using a gel plate and just ordinary paper. This was actually filmed a few weeks ago, and to be brutally honest, I think I'm using paper in this one because I've not sat down and looked at the footage before I try and edit it. Here I'm just trying to clear off my gel plate before I use it. This session using alcohol inks followed directly on from the previous one in the previous video. I just did one after the other, but that was actually filmed a couple of weeks ago and I've not had a chance to film anything else since then. So I think I had the idea to try and use some alcohol inks on the gel plate and also try and use just ordinary paper rather than photo paper. And you can still see my alcohol ink stained fingers got there in the end. That actually made quite a nice print, and that will be used for something in the future. Plate isn't entirely clear, but it doesn't matter. I've cut some card. I think this was just a mixed media paper, so I've cut that just the size roughly of the plate. I've got here my 50/50. I think this is the secret sauce recipe that Sharon from Texture Junkies talks about. It's not really secret. It's a mix of isopropyl alcohol, you might know that as rubbing alcohol. I think the one I've got is 99%. So it's a mix of that and hand sanitizer. And I'm still experimenting. So I've got golden yellow, calabaza orange, coral and senorita margarita. So yeah, I'm editing this without having actually looked through the footage again, so I honestly can't quite remember what I did here. So clearly looking for something else, probably for gold. Oh no, copper, there we go, so an element. And I'm just going to put these onto the gel plate. So I think that was me putting some of the 50/50 mix, Sharon's secret sauce mix, and as I'm editing this, in just a little while I'm going to be talking on Sharon's live stream, Texture Junkies live stream. So by the time this video goes up I will have already done that, so I will try and leave a link to that at the end. Sharon has, in my opinion, quite a unique way of using alcohol inks, so yeah, I'm going to go on, read chat for her tonight and probably ask her quite a few questions, because this whole alcohol ink thing, I have tried it in the past. I think I only had maybe a couple of colours. I didn't even have the isopropyl alcohol. So yeah, I'm not getting the results she gets, but you know, I'm going to keep experimenting. So put a few colours down there, sprayed it a bit, and now putting some of the copper down, and you can see how that spreads out a bit. Now one of the things for me is the way that the kind of copper, the gold spreads out. I'm just taking this little tool thing, can't remember what it's called, but just kind of spreading out the element there. And I did notice that on the gel plate things are starting to disperse a little bit, but that's okay, I don't mind that. But yeah, just not sure. I'm feeling that I'm using too much of everything, too much ink and too much of the isopropyl or the 50/50 mix. Spraying a bit more on there just to try and lift that. You know, I don't want to waste anything. It is coming through this paper. I don't think that's surprising. You know, it's not a particularly heavyweight paper. And yeah, this is very much just about experimenting. I did this 2 or 3 weeks ago. Not sure what now, but I've got some more ideas about things that I want to do to experiment with the alcohol inks. A number of you left suggestions on my first video using alcohol inks, including just going out or going and checking out some Tim Holtz videos. I had seen that there was a number of those, all very long, 2.5, 3 hours. However, I did watch one and a bit of those, and it was interesting to see how he used them. And yeah, I'm actually thinking about buying some of the blending solution rather than just using the isopropyl. Yeah, isopropyl. I want to add an extra isopropyl, but I know that's not right. So, as an artist, it's important to me to be trying out different things. I think lots of people have tried the alcohol ink thing already, and I'm almost late to the game with this. Everybody's kind of been there, done it, got the t-shirt, all that kind of thing. Some people still using them. Some people like Sharon from Texture Junkies, still using them to great effect. I'm really just kind of experimenting for the first time. But to me as an artist, that's an important thing to do. But it's also important to me as an artist to be saying, yeah, I'm experimenting and it doesn't always go the way I would hope it would go. But that's how a person learns. That's how one learns. That's certainly how I learn. I'm not going to suddenly use something and be expert in it. I might never be expert in it, but it won't stop me from trying to develop something that kind of fits with my style. And I guess that's what I'm trying to do with these alcohol inks. I think in my last video I said I did wonder if I had wasted my money on these, and to be honest, to be brutally honest, I have thought 2 or 3 times that has been a waste of money. I should not have bothered. I could have bought a number of acrylic paints or my favourite acrylic inks with the same money. And yet, there's something about these that I think I can make work for me. And that's what I'm striving to do now. So I'm not coming on here saying, this is the way to use them. So this is not a tutorial or anything like that. That was a purple, rainforest green and teal. So yeah, I'm not coming on here saying, here's how to use them. I think that was gold. It's just me experimenting, and sitting doing this will not be for everyone to watch. A lot of people just want to see tutorials to see how to use them. But as I say, I'm just trying to be honest. Things are new to me that I haven't used before, and I'm not going to pretend that I am expert in any of that. What I will say though is that I enjoy the experimenting, even if it doesn't go the way I hoped it would go. You learn something all the time by just sitting and playing. So one of the things I realised that I didn't like so much about using the inks on the photo paper, and it would be the same if I was using it on Yupo paper, is the brightness of it. In fact, I love the brightness of the inks, don't get me wrong there, but the fact that I also like things a little bit grungy on the photo paper, it was just a little bit bright for my liking, although I did like the fact that some were kind of galaxy looking, and a number of you commented on that as well. So I did like that, and I guess what I'm trying to do is to get something that is somewhere between that and something that would seem more in line with kind of what I do. Now, when I look at this on the screen now, I think that looks really good. But sometimes when it's lifted off, it just looks that little bit different. So there it's very dark, quite moody looking, maybe even almost kind of gothic. And, I go to pick it up. Look how it soaks through. The colours are great. I'm not a big fan. I've never been a big fan of purple per se. And, so there's something about it I like, but still something about it that's not quite me. So all of that kind of copper, gold, whatever else is still sitting on the plate there. So I am going to try and get it off somehow. Picking up bits and pieces there. And I keep going back and forward with these bits, just trying to see what I get. Some I put down several times, sometimes I just take new pieces. And stress again, all I was doing was playing. Because for me, that's the best way, just experimenting and seeing if there's something that I do that finally hits the mark for me. The colours are great, I love them. Watching some of the Tim Holtz videos, I loved the way that you could see some of the different colours that make up the colours, so some of the colours of the inks have different pigments mixed in them, I should say. And when the isopropyl is applied, gosh, doesn't that look good? When isopropyl is applied, it really brings out all the individual colours. So that looked quite good. I can't remember if it stays like that at the end, because I do go back and play with so many. And of course that's always a bit of an issue, where you have something that you like and you think, will I add to it or will I leave it? And it's always a difficult decision. It's not easy, but again, I just think experimenting, there's nothing here. These are little bits of mixed media paper, and whether they work out or not, they will be used at some point in time by way of collage or whatever, or backgrounds for something. So just picking up the tiniest bits there, and actually I quite like that as is. It's got the brightness of that, whatever it was. Sometimes after the colours have gone down and they've been mixed with the 50-50 mix, you can't actually tell what they were to begin with, but yeah. So, sorry, kind of rambling on a bit, I'm guessing, but as I say, it's just because, it's not a tutorial. I am very much just playing, just trying inks out and enjoying that process. And those colours go great together. There's something about the combination of those that I really like. And I'm definitely needing to work on the metallics to see how I get them to sit better. I've watched a couple of different videos and I can see how people move the metallics. Like, gosh, there again, that looks brilliant there. Whether it picks up like that, I don't know. Oh, that's quite interesting. Still moving it about. And I think, as I said last time, and if you watch my other videos where I use acrylic ink, moving things about is part of the fun for me. So that didn't pick up quite as it looked on the plate, but that's okay. Some of these you think, will I move it on? Will I not move it on? So that's dispersed the gold. A little bit off screen there. Bringing in that card again just as a kind of mop-up card. Just adding on whatever little remnants are left. And I think this size of card, which is, what is it, 5 by, is it 3, 4? Can't remember. 5 by 7, small gel plate. And, quite a good size of plate just to play with, just to, you can take one big sheet of mixed media paper, cut it up and then just play with it. So lots of scope to do little experiments, and, you're not wasting a lot by doing this. And the ink does go quite a long way. So this paper definitely absorbs a lot of the ink and it goes right through. So I guess, if I was looking to use these in future, I could put them into a little journal of some sort. There I'm applying the mix direct onto the card to see if it will spread further. just using the plate to kind of pull it along. So yeah, I could just add these into a journal. They could be journaling cards or whatever. That one I thought looked a bit like a turtle at points. I'll say again, as I said last time, the alcohol ink does make a lot of mess on the hands. Oh, I guess I'm getting towards the end here. Looking at what I did last time, what I did this time, I'm quite liking it on the ordinary paper. It absorbs it quite a bit. You don't get the kind of brightness of the colour, and yet is still quite pigmented. You can see it well. It's just a different look, I guess. So what am I doing now? I think I'm just going to try and clean up this gel plate again. So another bit of white on it, just to try and lift it. So I don't think there's much further to go, so I hope you've enjoyed watching my further experiments with alcohol ink. I do have some more ideas that I will be bringing you. I'll also be back hopefully midweek with my 52-week concertina accordion journal. I've been bringing that up to date and enjoying doing that, and I'm going to get back to filming the pages on that. So sorry, a bit all over the place with this, but just as I say, just playing, peeling that off, and again, a great pull. So if you've made it this far, thanks ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Check out the Texture Junkies video I'm going to link at the end. Bye for now.